No warning this morning. We're literally chasing our asses. We've got so many things that we're doing.
Good morning, good morning. It's great to stay up late.
Gonna get
Good
coffee.
morning, good morning
chasing our
to
asses.
you and you and you. Oh, good morning, Wendy Huckvale. Good morning, Emma Staple. Good morning, Lucy Loxton. Good morning, Faith Goodman. Pamela Sharp, Sky Elise, Steph Coleman. Morning, 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 morning to you all. Morning, Natasha. Timos, Marcia Tom, Suzanne Stone, Jan, Gabrielle, Shirley Finlinson, Elspeth, and now it's going too fast. Lisa Lou, Jackie Roswell, ones I can just see. Mark D, Emma Dyball, they're going too fast. Ant HJ, Field of Ash, Anna Kite. No, there's boxes and boxes. So good morning, everybody. Yeah, sorry, we didn't have time to give you warning because we had yoga this morning. Force Smart to do it again, but I think he liked it. We've got such a lovely yoga teacher, and then we've got loads we've got to do today. So we thought we'd better do coffee moaning now, otherwise we won't get it done. So Taylor Swift, hello. Hi Sue Lucas, hello Elaine Grant, hello Denise Drummond Mulvaney, and I'm just looking at the titles here of what we're going to be chatting about, and I'm excited to see we've finally got Trump news. Trump is conceding. I haven't read that. Mark will have to tell us about that.
Conceding is a bit powerful a word, but he's acknowledged that there has to be a transition started.
There's good news, though, on the vaccine, on the Oxford vaccine, because I was reading about it this morning. I think it's going to be the cheapest one out of all the vaccines. So they're going to be able to help so many people, not just in this country, but across the world. And though there was confusion about 60% and 90% efficacy, it does look like it does have 90% efficacy.
So you were telling me earlier, and I couldn't listen because it was so complicated. What was the unpacking of this? Because I think for me it feels like a damage limitation exercise. It feels like the Brits trying to make out it's much better than it is.
I don't think they can do something like that with something that's so
The
important.
first headlines I saw were disappointment at 70% efficacy, and the entire day was about building that back up to 90. I'm really curious to know what that's about.
Well, the story that is out now, and I'd be
Not
surprised.
wanting it to be the case,
I'd be
obviously.
surprised if they could tell a pack of lies, Oxford University, about such an important
I'm
thing.
not saying they're telling a pack of lies, but I mean,
So
why
basically,
did it come out as 70?
So basically, the first figure that we got of 60% was
70%.
70%. So basically, what happened was a certain number of people that were trialling the vaccine were given the wrong dose. And the first dose they were given half the dose they were supposed to. So then they realised, and then with their second dose, they gave them the right amount. Now, that group within the study have 90% protection.
Right.
So by mistake, they realised that actually they need to give two different doses. The other group, the main group that were given the full amount both times, were coming in at 70, was it 70?
Mm-hmm.
70%. So that was the anomaly that was going on with the figures.
So,
But like you said, it
So
seems
basically-
odd that the wrong figures would come out
Hang on a
first,
minute.
unless it was a leak in the papers and they didn't fully understand.
so 70% was because they gave less dosage.
Yes.
90% because they gave more
No,
dosage.
no. They accidentally gave too little with the first vaccine. Because you have to have two. You have to have one, and then a month
But
later
too
you have
little
the
according
next.
to who?
No,
How
no.
do you quantify what
No,
too
no,
little
they
is?
said so imagine they're supposed to give a teaspoon each. They accidentally gave one group half a teaspoon.
And that's why those numbers came in low.
No, they said they
Literally can't get my
found
head around
the
this.
accidental dose has more efficacy than the dose that they thought they needed to give. That's what's so fascinating about it. By accident, they stumbled upon how to get 90% efficacy. Extraordinary.
Sander's saying they also said you could still catch it and spread it with the vaccine. You can still carry the disease with the vaccine. So that's interesting. I haven't even thought of that. Can you have a vaccine, be immune
don't
yourself,
know.
but still carry the disease? So you're a carrier rather than a sufferer. Oh my God. 90% if you get 2 doses, 70% if you only have 1 dose, Suzanne Stone's saying. But what you're saying is it was 90% with a lower dosage.
Yeah, you still have to have the 2 doses. It was an accident.
I'm
Look.
still as confused.
Dosing error. Oxford COVID vaccine hit 90% success rate thanks to dosing,
error.
Yeah, it was because they'd made an error they think that maybe because they gave less at the beginning, the body made more antibodies. It responded better than with a full dose.
Interim data does so this is definite. Sorry guys, sorry to be a really, really big party pooper. What you're seeing here is governmental changing of the story, because we don't want to believe that AS didn't perform as strongly as the American ones on first.
You don't know that. You can't say that
for
as
a
absolute.
fact.
You can say maybe.
No,
no, you really can't.
I saw all of the headlines before it happened, and
you can say that you suspect.
And there were even the markets around the world were saying there's going to be a muted response to this. This has changed dramatically.
It has.
Interim data suggests 70%. Why would you even have this dialogue? You wouldn't publish that fact. The interim data suggests 70%. But if we do something with it, it'll get to 9%. You could say that of anything.
But do you think that's because the wrong...
I mean, I don't want this to be the case.
No, but this wasn't an announcement from Oxford University, the 70%. It was a leak. So maybe the newspapers had reported the wrong results.
This is... No, Epsington, I've said this as well. I'm not saying their figures are better. I said all along, do you think Pfizer and Moderna are doing the American thing of kind of, going for the top dollar? This is the top line. Say that. And my suggestion with Pfizer and Moderna is that there's going to be a lower end range and a top end range. So,
look, John Campbell explains everything that happened with the Oxford University.
So in a sense,
Can you tell us in a
I'm
couple
not saying
of lines,
that 70, this isn't disputing whether 70% is good or not good. I'm talking about, I don't like it when I feel the hand of someone trying to massage our news.
But what we need to know is when we were told 70%, was that because that was a report leaked too early and Oxford hadn't actually made their statement?
Possibly. They might have had their hand forced. Yeah. They might have had their hand forced.
Because actually Oxford have been very measured, saying we're hoping for this. They haven't been showing off and saying they've got big numbers. And maybe they've been forced now to say, well, yes, it was 70%. We made a mistake, because they wouldn't want people to know that they'd made a mistake with the dosing, with the trial.
That's my point. So, but again, that needs to be said. I think
it was like when I once burnt. It was like when I once burnt my hazelnuts, right? For my hazelnut meringue.
Was I anywhere
near
you?
And I didn't have any other hazelnuts. So I ground them up and put them in my meringue, and it was the best meringue ever. And now I always burn my hazelnuts. That's what happened to them. Yeah. They accidentally gave half a dose. They burnt their hazelnuts, and then they discovered that was the way forward.
Oh, right. Well, there you go. So burnt hazelnuts is the way forward. I'm pleased we've managed to find a sort of culinary parallel.
Woo!
No, it's a good one.
And now they've got that. I've got a great hazelnut meringue.
I'm slightly worried
that efficacy.
Is that why squirrels look so happy?
But they did also explain how there has been ongoing data reviews. And again, like I've said before, these vaccines were way down the road already, because they were there for SARS and other coronaviruses. So it's not like we've started from absolute scratch with this vaccine. And I wish they would publicise that more and say that, because it would stop a lot of the fear around the vaccine.
Thanks, Chris Gullick. Ready Player 2 is out today, the book. Beth and Matthews, just want to make you feel a bit more comfortable. Tested positive this morning, shit scared. Of course you'll be worried.
Yeah, it's weird. It must be very odd.
Fleur had it. You might get no symptoms. You might get very mild symptoms, but all the statistics show that it's very unlikely
80% of people hardly feel it.
Even in the most vulnerable category of age, only a minimum number of them within the oldest age bracket really struggle with this disease. So. But I do think it's interesting. So, what...
Eton mess is the same, says Emma Staple.
Yeah.
Somebody dropped the meringues, and then they dropped the cream, and they mixed it all up, and they had an Eton mess.
Oh, right.
And that's what's happened with this
Good.
vaccine.
Very good. It's an Eton mess.
Thank you, Emma.
Charlotte Roberts. Hi, Nadia, Mark and subs. Can I have a shout
It's
out?
an Oxford mess.
It's an Eton mess.
I can make a dessert
it's an Eton
with
mess.
an Oxford mess. I'm inspired.
Yeah, say hello to Charlotte Roberts.
Hello, Charlotte
Roberts.
I'm
off work today with a bug, but secretly happy because I can see your lives.
Charlotte Roberts, welcome to our gaff. Charlotte Roberts.
Jill Lister says your dad's name was mentioned on Pointless yesterday.
Was it?
That's so cool.
They asked him to go on it a little while ago.
So
Lisa does the makeup on
So to clarify, what I'm saying is it's not about whether we should jump up and down and whether it's true or whether it's not true. It's about how they tell us. And I find that part of it is the most unnerving part of it. Because all these vaccines will have a lower end efficacy. Absolutely right, Epsington. All of them will have a lower end. And the fact that Oxford have pumped through with, but when they started with 70, just tell us that. We can deal with that. Say, well, what we're saying is the lower end is 70, and if we tweak it, it's 90. But it was then trying to be trotted out as if it was just we're only going for the top. And now I understand people want hope and people want belief, but they also want to trust. just want to trust.
Gabrielle said, you were trying to say this yesterday as well, Gabrielle, that I don't see how we can go back into a fair tier system if mass testing hasn't happened. Well, I suppose they're just using what they have, what figures they have. But I know what you mean.
What Boris has said is going to happen, and whether this does happen or not. I don't know, how is it going in Liverpool? Is there anyone in Liverpool with the mass testing? Because what they're saying is, as soon as a region or a part of the country goes into the strongest tier, mass testing for that region will happen in order to kind of completely get it under control.
Exactly, Erin. Lower dose sometimes works better than a larger dose. A larger dose may overwhelm the immune system.
I mean, that I find really interesting.
I find that really interesting because
interesting.
I take homeopathy. I love homeopathy, and homeopathy works on just the memory of something, the memory to trigger your own immune response. So it's kind of scary that people were given double what they needed.
Well, do you remember when I was given twice as much yellow fever vaccine?
Yes, he nearly died. I had to
BBC.
fly him out of Moscow.
Yeah, it was a bloody nightmare. I had such.
He was so ill. I had to go to the Tropical Diseases Hospital. They said he should be dead.
Yeah. Whoa. And I often wondered whether I could have a liver. I think it attacks your liver, the yellow fever, doesn't it? That's why it's yellow. I think you go yellow.
Not great, as you were an alcoholic at the time as well.
No, absolutely.
Fairly active.
Yeah. I'd say so. So is
Trump... must clean the mascara up from onto my eyes.
Trump conceding?
Yes, tell me about this. I haven't seen anything, Trump.
So, Trump administration clears the way for Biden transition to officially begin. A key Trump administration appointee said Monday she would allow President Joe Biden to begin his transition. It marked a formal recognition by the Trump admin that Biden won the election, even though the president's refused. So, the president's not agreeing with the result. He's not sanctioning the result, and he's still pursuing things, legal challenges and all that kind of stuff. In a pair of tweets, Trump said he gave the green light to Murphy's decision because it was in the best interest of our country. But Trump said he would continue to contest the results. So that's that's almost a sideline. That's a pretty big news story today, isn't it?
That's a massive news story.
I mean, we kind of essentially now know we're going to hand over without what could have become a very mucky process.
It's also a massive news story that I did the downward dog today and I didn't hate every single second of it.
I just nearly choked on my coffee.
That's big news because I usually fucking hate the downward dog.
Yeah. Yeah, she does. I mean, people who say the downward dog is something fun and a place of rest.
The resting place of downward dog.
It's not a resting place, but I must admit, I enjoyed that. Ashley, I hope you're feeling better, mate. The tier system didn't work last time and it ain't going to work this time. Why carry on with something that doesn't work? It kind of did a bit, actually. I mean, even John Campbell, whether you believe John Campbell or not, even John Campbell was saying that he felt that the tier system was working. I do think we have a kind of fighting chance with the tier system. I know in the short term it's going to be painful because a lot of places are going to go into more severe lockdowns.
Listen,
for sure.
There is no other option to a tier system than lockdown, and we can't maintain lockdown for people's mental health, the economy. We just can't do it, so we've got no choice.
Can I ask you one of those binary questions, guys? Who will be travelling or needs to travel during Christmas? Who needs to be using the infrastructure of the travel system for Christmas this year?
Not
yes
me.
or no? No, because Grant Shapps today. Oh, okay, so the vast majority no. Linda Tyler, you to London. It looks like we're going to have a right old travel fiasco coming. Where's the story? Let me just find it. On BBC News. Christmas plans still being thrashed out. Can everyone be cautious? There are concerns about the impact on public transport as we go into Christmas. Because of course, has anyone else seen? We're being threatened this kind of Arctic winter. We're probably going to get the coldest winter in 10 years. I mean, mind you, I see that headline every year, and then it comes to Christmas Day, and we're sat in a sun lounger. But I do, and presumably the student corridor, that 6 days that students are allowed to travel back, I did think at the time when they announced that's going to be a bum scrum, isn't it? It's going to be complete carnage, isn't it, on the transport system? So, Sander Waggers next week, absolutely. Angela Thompson going up to Darlington. you're going to be in. So people know what Zoe Agnew. I've my flight booked back home to Northern Ireland on the 22nd. Really hope it works out. Missing my family. Oh, Zoe.
Zoe, you need
Oh,
to be with
you
your
need
family.
to be with your family,
After losing
sweetie.
your
Yeah, all of our heart goes out to you, darling. Yeah, what I keep hearing at the
have to
moment
say
is
goodbye.
of all the parts of London, all the parts of the country, sorry, that's struggling. Kent is coming.
I know, Swale. What are you up to in Swale?
It seems to be losing its shit. Kent. Nadia's just got to go off because she's got to prepare for a podcast.
I'm doing a guest on a podcast, guys. So you need to finish at 11 because I need full strength.
Yeah, no, I'll be done by 11. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Don't worry.
Bye, everybody. I'll see you for night shift.
Katie Wilson, we were tier 1 pre-lockdown. Now our numbers, you won't see them for night shift. And now our numbers are rising to near capacity in our local hospital. I'm so grateful for the vaccines. Joy Manning, I live in France. Christmas for us will be me, hubby and 2 daughters. Our 3rd daughter lives in Denmark. Bye Nads, everyone says bye Nads. Nicola Randall, I'm in a household bubble. Brighton going down. What, the numbers are going down? It's not going down as in sinking. Brighton numbers are going down. No, we're going to know what tiers we're in on Thursday. That's for sure. DJ, good luck with your MRI scan. Lynn Aoki, I fly to Japan on Thursday morning from Edinburgh. Wow, Japan. That's kind of exciting and worrying. You see, I've got this thing where I don't know if I want to be that far away from home. And then another part of me wishes I was in Iceland or in the Arctic, don't you? If you could be anywhere in the world right now, where would you be? Come on, hit me with it. He said, downing his coffee. My eczema's a little bit better today. Release the ABBA video, Dr. Natalie. My God, we do not want to be doing that. New Zealand, Finland, Switzerland, South Korea, Bahamas. Oh, I'll hit you with my whip. Ooh. Miss P, New Zealand. Falmouth, Cornwall. That's where you'd like to be. I love Cornwall. Bali, Rachel Louise. I remember I travelled around Bali and Lombok with an ex-girlfriend for a month, years and years ago. And it was a tough journey. We did it economically. We were going around in beamers, I think they're called, the little sort of bus. They're like buses, but you can fit only about, strictly speaking, 10 people in, but they get about 20 in. I remember we travelled all around Lombok, and I invariably have an old woman's chicken in a basket, alive, on my lap. But I have to say, there's Bali, which is beautiful, and then there's Lombok, which is next to it, which is a bit poorer, has an amazing volcano on it. And then we went out to the Gili Islands. Has anyone heard of the Gili Islands? We got on a really stressful boat to Gili Meno. And then literally for this is no exaggeration, this must have been back in about 1999, for approximately, I think it was something like £2 a night in British money, £2 a night. We were in a bamboo construction on a beach, a beautiful beach, just idyllic, where you could just swim on your own for £2 a night. So the thing about, might have to leave you in a minute. Is there someone at the door? Thailand. I've never fancied Thailand. I've always found Thailand a bit... Toffee, what's wrong, darling? Toffee, can you just... Is that someone at the front door?
Okay.
Sorry, what was I saying? So Thailand, no, I've always found Thailand a strange place. I've always found, I don't know why, I think my opinion of Thailand's always been dictated by the bars.
Well, I shouldn't do. No, I need them for this recording. I can't. It's all right. Yes, I'm just...
Sorry, we're just on a live. You're going to have to turn your headphones off. I can't. I've got to finish. All right, guys, sorry, I'm going to have to go. Nadia's somehow hijacked the sound on this live. See you later.